Good evening, everyone. So I'll just start with a little bit of my introduction. Um, when I'm feminine, they say I'm girly, and when I'm serene, they say I'm boring, and when I'm bold, they say I'm arrogant. But the truth is, I have overcome the boring, grown past the girly, and risen above the need to be arrogant. And that's my story of unraveling my unconventional. The unconventional journey of a messed up girl to a sorted woman is what defines my clothing line too, which is by the name of Ux. So our clothes reflect your personality no matter at what phase of your life you are in. Be it be feminine, serene or bold, they reflect who you are. Be it be a student, a mother or a working woman. So for a woman, life of a woman is like that of a juggler, you know, three, four balls spinning in the air at the same time, and all are important, and you have to keep all the balls up in the air efficiently. So likewise, I also started as a computer science engineer, and I was coding away my life to glory until the time I realized that I was stuck in a 9 to 5 job in a 4 by 4 cubicle, and that was the moment. I didn't want to be stuck into that 4 by 4 cubicle. Working in Deloitte, which is one of the top 4 consulting firms, it is one of the best consulting firms in the world, would have been the best thing that would have happened to me. But if only I enjoyed that salary credit message which you get at the end of every month. If only I enjoyed those Sodexo coupons which we could consume at local restaurants and coffee shops. If only I enjoyed working 5 days a week. But that was not my cup of tea. I didn't want to be fit into that 9 to 5 category, and since I didn't want to be fit into that 9 to 5 category, I had to be prepared for a 24 by 7 hustle. So what happened was, during my year-end appraisal discussion with my mentor in Deloitte, one simple question changed the course of my life. He asked me, when was the last time you felt like coming to office? I said, never in the last 2 years. Then he asked me, then why are you here? I said that this job makes me pay my bills, and that's the reason I'm here. So he said, then you shouldn't be here. You should be in a place, you should be doing what you enjoy doing. And that is when I onboarded the journey of unraveling my unconventional. The journey of a computer science engineer turning to a fashion merchandiser and hence creating India's first online-only ethnic wear brand. It took me 6 months of time to realize that I was made for fashion, and Miranda Priestley from Devil Wears Prada pushed me to the edge. I was so influenced by her character, I was so influenced by the movie that I moved to Italy to pursue fashion buying and merchandising. It took me a lot of time to convince my parents that, you know, I'm a computer science engineer and now I want to be into a fashion field. So it was rather difficult. And then I went there, I did my course for 1 year, and I did 6 months of extensive research on Zara. That was one of my projects. And I was really impressed by their supply chain and the idea of getting runway fashion to the masses. I was really impressed by their idea. And by the time I came back, I was already 25, and it was very unconventional for an Indian girl to be unmarried at that age. So I got married conventionally through a very unconventional platform, LinkedIn. I met my husband on LinkedIn while my mom was browsing conventional matrimonial sites. So we met on LinkedIn and we connected on Skype, and then we connected on BlackBerry Messenger too, and after chatting on BlackBerry Messenger for 36 hours continuously, we decided to get married. Without even seeing each other, without even meeting each other, without even dating each other. So definitely technology plays a very important life in the lives of engineers. If at all an engineer wouldn't have thought of developing these social networking platforms, I would have never met Satpal because we were 800 kilometers away. So that's why I really believe that, you know, engineers do a great job despite of me myself changing my line. And then After that, we got married, and then we were blessed with a baby. Soon we started contemplating that I should be getting back to work again. And since he knew that I don't fit into a 9 to 5 category, he suggested me that why don't you start something. Why don't you start selling on online marketplaces like Myntra, Jabong, and Flipkart, because that would give me flexibility of working from home and taking care of our daughter as well. And I really liked the idea. So that's when we thought of creating Ux. I always dreamt of building something around fast fashion because I was a huge fan of Zara, and that's when we decided to replicate Zara's model in Indian ethnic wear. And there were two things happening at the same time when we decided to start Ux. There was a retail to online shift happening, and exports were also going down at the same time. So it worked to our advantage because there was a vacuum which was created on the production side, and since we get all our products made in Jaipur, so there was a huge vacuum in Jaipur in terms of demand for production, and we could identify that demand which online marketplaces were about to create, and we just tried to match that demand with our supply, and that's what helped us creating in the value which we've created now, which is by the name of Ux. So what we did was we went to Jaipur, and we used to go there every weekend, and we identified some Sikh units in Jaipur. So they were having a very good network of printers, dyers, and fabricators, but the thing they were not having was work because of the crashing export market, and that worked to our advantage. They helped us with they helped us in creating our robust supply chain which we have created today, and the value which we have created today. They helped us in creating that through their network, and we encashed on their network. So that's the idea part of my story. Now we come to how and why we created Ux. Why I chose online. Online because, as I mentioned, that there was an online to retail shift happening at that time. Why ethnic? Ethnic because our ethnic wear market is very huge but is mostly unorganized. So my competition is not those national brands who are not affordable. My competition is that Nukkad wala tailor who provides customized and affordable fashion. That is my competition. And third, fast fashion because national brands, they don't believe in doing capsule collections. They still believe in doing seasons, and established brands, they lack in flexibility in terms of designs, trends, and affordability. So that's when we thought of creating a contemporary ethnic wear, online only, affordable fast fashion brand in India by the name of Ux. And there are 5 values to the brand, to Ux. And we really believe that we should not be doing seasons. We do capsule collections every month. First is that. Second is we believe in providing freshness to the consumers. I really believe that runway fashion and street styles should be available to the consumers every 15 days. Then we make small batches, production in small batches, which helps us in reducing our dead stock, and also it creates a scarcity in the minds of the consumers that if we don't buy it now, then it won't be available later. That's the third thing. Fourth thing, our designs are very unconventional and yet affordable they are. So you wouldn't have thought of someone wearing a palazzo sari or a pant sari 5 years back, or a pre-pleated sari for that matter, and we have provided all these options. So fourth is this. Fifth is a very robust, efficient supply chain to match with these 4 values. These are the 5 core values of the brand. Then coming to talking about my journey of these 5.5 years, building a business from 3.5 lakhs to 100 CR in 5 years, is not easy, and it wouldn't have come without the support of my husband and my family. So choosing the right life partner is the key to success. Definitely, a bootstrap business faces a lot of challenges, and we too faced a lot of challenges. In terms of money, we were having very less amount of money, and then we were having problem with storage space. Since I wanted to work from home, so warehousing capacity was very limited if you want to work from home. Third is, it's very difficult to get employees who can work from your home. You cannot convince them to come to your home and work from there. So that's why I was the only resource in UX for the first year of operations. I was doing sampling, I was doing cataloging on websites, I was doing dispatch. So for 1 year, it was very difficult for me. Then in the second year, and at the end of first year, we closed at a revenue of 1.6 CR with a seed capital of 3.5 lakhs and a inventory of 936 units we started. And at the end of first year, we closed at 1.6 CR. In the second year of operations, we onboarded 3 more employees and we moved to a facility which was in the basement. It was a bigger warehouse kind of a place, not really warehouse. Then in third year of operation, we moved to a proper building, which was a 5-story building, where we were occupying 2 floors of that building with 32 employees. And now this year, we are a team of 120 people occupying that whole 5-story building. And going by this run rate, we'll be closing at 200 crores this year. I believe that, for building a business, you don't need just money. Money is important and the proper cash flow is important, but relations work more than money. First is that. Second, I would say that you need to have a very high risk-taking appetite. There are times when you need to take strong decisions, you need to take risks in your business, and if you're not able to take those risks, you will not be able to build a value. Thirdly, you need to constantly evolve in terms of your processes, in terms of your product. People are constantly looking for something new, and the market is so competitive that if you are not evolving, you'll become stale and eventually you'll lose that position. Third is that. Fourth is, you need to invest in your team. That is very important. Being backed by a very strong team is very important, and it's going to take you a long way. And fifth is, you need to be lean in terms of your expenditure, in terms of your spending. No matter what the cash flow is, you should always stay hungry. Thank you so much.